Hello everybody, and welcome to video 2 or step 2 of staying sane amidst global crises or a global crisis. This is the information that was in the first video. So this is the overview of the staying sane plan. So this is step 2, creating a safe space. So last time we talked about the stress response and how we're looking to create a balance between feeling stressed and feeling rested and relaxed, and that in situations like this we can experience chronic stress where we experience a low to moderate level of stress continuously, and we don't experience that heal response that is really important. So in this video we're talking about creating a safe space, which is really important, particularly when we are at home more than we normally would be, and we aren't able to get that cue that we are out of the stress zone that we might normally get. So for example, lots of people might say, I get my heal response, I get that deep sense of relaxation when I am dancing, or when I'm surfing, or when I am spending time with my friends. So it's really important that we make sure that we are literally creating a space for this in our lives, and giving as much power as we can to those cues that tell our brain, you aren't being chased by a lion anymore. You don't need to be thinking about the coronavirus right now. These are the things that are important. These are the things that are grounding for you. Let's actually just pay attention to this right now. So that's what we're doing today, or in this video. So what is the point of a safe space? So the main one is to cue our heal response, so we can feel more calm, relaxed, we can get that essential recharging of our batteries, and basically get our brain into a space of being able to solve problems creatively and think laterally, which when we're stressed, that ability is limited. It's also a center and grounding place, a place for centering. So it's kind of by having these things around us which are familiar, which remind us of things that are important to us, remind us of things that we enjoy. It's kind of an external projection of why we're here, what we find important, what is our purpose, what the hell is giving us that fuel to get through this bloody business. So that's the point of this. I really like that picture of that twinkly cubby house. To me, that's a really nice picture of what we're kind of aiming for here. It's almost that lovely, sweet sanctuary where we feel protected and away from the rest of the world. We're kind of trying to create that for ourselves here. Obviously, unfortunately, not all of us have a teepee handy in the middle of our bedrooms, but that's the essence of what we're going for. So ideally, we want to have 2 distinct safe spaces. I know this can be hard, depending on what our living circumstances are, in particular if we're all kind of bunkering down together, if space and privacy is limited. But this is the kind of the aim that we should be going for. So ideally we have just our bed, and our bed really is for nothing other than relaxation and for rest. What do they say? That your bed should only be for sleeping and sex and nothing else. I'll get to that in a minute. The second space is our personal shrine. So this can be a little bit more of a productive space. It doesn't need to only be for resting and relaxing. So we can do some of our thinking, some of our planning here, but it's kind of I like the term personal shrine because it almost does have that kind of religious quality to it, where we're almost kind of saying, look, this is what is important to me. This is the reminder, and we're almost looking for it in a concentrated form, so we can look at that And even if we don't have space for a whole room to feel like ours, we can look at that and still get that kind of place for calm and a bit of perspective as well. You know, this is what's important to us. So, you know, obviously, ideally, we're aiming for a whole space that we can be in, but having an area, again, a shrine is a useful term because a shrine might be just an object that we put up. It might just be a candle that we light. It might be a mantelpiece. It could just be one object. So, you know, there is a lot of flexibility here. So, some tips for bed. So, the only purpose of our bed is relaxation and rest, and we want to condition our brain to associate bed with only those things. So we don't want to think of it as our game zone. We don't want to think of it as where we're working. We want to really have it as we go to bed. The only things that we have around us are things that encourage relaxation and sleep. So, you know, lavender apparently is, you know, something that culturally we associate with relaxation. Maybe there are other smells that you find relaxing. Maybe you've got a favorite pillow. You know, it can be all sorts of different things, but it's just those cues that kind of say to ourselves, you know, you are safe, you are protected, you can relax, you can switch off now. We are really treating ourselves like children in this place. It's really that feeling of how can I feel like I'm tucking myself to bed and everything's going to be all right. I'm personally a bit of a clean freak, so I know that this isn't the case for everyone. But the ritual of cleaning our sheets regularly, making your bed every day, it's kind of about this containment and kind of making a nice clear distinction between rest and stress, and saying, okay, you know, I'm out of bed, the bed is made, that's the end of that chapter of my day, now I'm ready to work and be productive. And by cleaning the sheets, it's kind of that ritual of, yes, you know, my bed is a sacred place. This is somewhere that I want it to be as clean and smelling nice and all of those lovely things so that I can get the best rest I possibly can here. So it's all about building these associations and connections in our brain to reinforce the fact that this is a place where we really can get that good night's sleep, which is so important. The second safe space is our personal shrine. This is a little bit embarrassing. I googled personal shrine and most of them looked religious. So this is a picture of my personal shrine. So we can see that we've got the Lima's room stained glass that Mum made when I was 10. We've got some bunting that my aunt gave me that reminds me of her house. We've got the flowers that my cousins wore. We've got my little kind of picture frame with pictures of friends and family and cards and notes that people have written at different times. So, you know, for me, you know, I look at that and I'm instantly reminded of these things that are important to me, of people that I love. And it's just a kind of a calming kind of wave that comes over when I look at that. And so, you know, as we can see, we don't need it to be a whole room. We don't need it to be big, but just these cues and these reminders can create that feeling of safety and relaxation for us. So this can be anything really. It could be achievements that you're proud of. It can be photos of friends and family, things that remind you of what you value, memories that are important to you, goals or dreams for the future. Some people have those vision boards where they kind of say, yep, you know, one day I'm going to do this and here's a picture of it and this is what it's going to look like. And those things are really powerful tools. So it's kind of like we're creating this picture, literally, of what is the big picture of what's important to me. And it's kind of that, why am I doing this? What is my reason for getting through this? oh God, I can't remember the bloody name, but you know, there's that quote of, you know, the man that has a why can get through any how. And so that's what we're doing here. We're giving us this really nice, clear reminder of our why. It also has this purpose of saying, okay, you know, I might be feeling stressed, I might be feeling run down, I might be feeling really crap right now, but it's that kind of reminder of who am I really, or who do I want to be? So again, it's just that little reminder of, you know, maybe we can find that strength to kind of step up and get through this from a place of strength. So sometimes I talk about this and people don't really get what I mean. So this is an exercise which I've had some really fun conversations with friends and family members to think about, what do you have a favorite mug, or a favorite cup, or a favorite t-shirt, or a favorite pair of undies? And just kind of take a little moment here to think about it and really visualize it. You know, maybe you're even holding it right now or wearing it right now. And just sort of think, you know, what do you like about it? What do you think it means to you? What does it make you think or feel? What do you like about what it looks like? Or does it feel a certain way when you hold it or when you're wearing it? What are your favorite parts of using it? Is there a moment that that you really enjoy? You know, whether it's I really love sort of putting the loose leaf tea into the cup and seeing it bubble around it. Or I really love the smell, or I love how soft the material is, or I love the colour. It could be all sorts of different things. And what does that say? What might it say? You know, maybe it was just a random choice. Maybe it was a gift and you don't actually like it that much, but the person who gave it to you means a lot to you. But what might it say about you as a person, that this is an object that you value, something that's important to you? For some people it might be very practical, and it's, well, you know, this is a recycle, you know, this is a keep cup that, you know, keeps the water in really well, and, you know, I can have my coffee on the run and I don't spill it. And so that might say that you're a very practical person. Or maybe it's a really cumbersome mug, but you just love the colours and it sticks out in weird angles and it reminds you of something funny that you saw. These are all kind of important things that can sometimes give us clues about what is important to us. You know, what are those precious moments in life that we kind of reach for? This is kind of the essence of why it's worth looking after ourselves so that we can get through tough times like this. So just some tips and tricks. I know that for some people, they might not have the luxury of being able to dictate what happens in a space. For some people, they might be sharing a room, or space might be cramped. So just some tips and tricks. Start small and work your way out. So start with an object if you're feeling overwhelmed by this idea. Some people might start with a piece of jewellery, or they might start with something that they really like the smell of. For me, I tend to start with candles. If I go to a strange place, or if I've just kind of settled in somewhere, making the place clean and tidy and lighting a candle is a really good way to kind of warm the space up and make it feel homely, even when there's nothing else going on. An outdoor space on a balcony or in a garden can be good if there isn't much indoor space. So if you don't want to kind of take over an area, just having a chair that looks out onto a bit of greenery can be really grounding and relaxing. And it can just be a wonderful place where we can really just smell that that nice smell of life, and it can be really good. Objects that are easy to set up and pack away, or a journal where you might put photos in it and then you can look through it. Those things can also be helpful when space is limited. So I remember I once bought a pack of tarot cards, and it had a lot in there about setting up the space before you do the tarot card reading. And now, just to be clear, I don't think that tarot cards predict the future or anything. I just think it's a useful self-reflection exercise. But I think that there is value, in setting up a space before you do that reflection. And it talked a lot about, using a silk cloth because it feels luxurious, and lighting a candle and all of these sorts of things. So it doesn't necessarily need to be something that's set up permanently. In fact, sometimes the ritual, following the steps of taking those things out and putting them out in front of you, can be a signal to your brain saying, okay, we're closing the chapter of stress and we're opening the chapter of relaxation. So just some ideas that are nice and affordable, and hopefully things that you've already got around the house. Kmart is doing free delivery over $45 at the moment. If you did want to get a few things. So a favorite cup or mug, a perfume, soap or moisturizer or air freshener that smells really good to you, a comfortable chair facing something beautiful, so plant, candle, photo, certificate, books, things that are meaningful to you. And this is a good one as well. Write a list of things that you are grateful for. Obviously if you've got nice colourful pens, and that's a great way to make it look a little bit decorative as well, but obviously not necessary. And display it somewhere. Have it as something that you can get out when you're feeling really crap, and you can look at and be reminded of. It's almost like we're looking after our future selves here. So even though it might come to you easily right now, there might be a point in time when you're just feeling really crap and you just need that reminder. We're looking after our future selves. So next time we're going to talk about creating a mental safe space. So obviously these things are related, and one supports the other, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that nitty-gritty of mindfulness, a few relaxation exercises, and things like that, just to really to make sure that we're not kind of sat in our safe space still buzzing with fear and anxiety, how we can manage and get on top of that a little bit more. Cool.